This just in. It's that time once again for the wrestling show to take a very cynical look back at, representing the WWE and live from the Bridgestone Arena in Nashville, Tennessee. It's Monday Night Raw. Air date November the 28th, 2023. This episode is the aftermath of Survivor Series, the home of the War Games, and the road to the Royal Rumble coming 2024. And so, let's go in
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Lip really loves wrestling. He likes to talk about it too. If you like to watch wrestling like he do, come and join us on the wrestling show. On the wrestling show. On the wrestling show. Baby!
Well. Welcome to the Wrestling Show. I'm your most fickle host, Lip Hazlewood, and we're about to take a look back at the latest episode of Monday Night Raw. But before we dive into the show, just a quick shout out to the non-combatants. That's right, they are the glue that holds things together. First and foremost, he is the general manager. It's Adam Pearce. Next, I guess getting all the pre-match interviews and all the backstage scoops, it is Jackie Redmond. And of course, heading into the ring with the announcer, letting everybody know who's about to fight and the results of such matches, we've got Samantha Irving. And last but certainly not least, it's the commentary crew, the play-by-play guys, the hosts, and I even call them the narrators of the whole damn show. They are the team, a two-man team. First of all, he's my personal favorite. I think he's probably one of the greatest announcers out there, commentators out there, period. He's a man with the raspy yet soothing voice. I've got a personal man crush on him. I'm not embarrassed to say that at all. He is a future Hall of Famer. He is the hyper-intelligent, very intelligent. He's just good. Anyways, it's Wade Barrett. And backing Wade Barrett up today, he is the... He's his sidekick now. He's a longtime veteran of over 25 years. It's Michael Cole. Now, without any further ado, let's get started with the show. The show, and it's a big show. It's a big show. A lot of matches. It's like technically there's 10 matches on the show today. But we start with some Randy Orton. Randy Orton coming down here today. Taking the first time in the ring for a while. He made his return at Survivor Series, at War Games. Now he's back after 1.5 years. He had spinal surgery, two things. He got two fused spines things. He got 2 fusions done. So, and he talks about Survivor Series, War Games, how proud he was of being part of it, because it was a Dusty Rhodes thing. It's his legacy, and he was proud to be part of it. Anyways, he talks about he's back, and he wants back part of the Bloodline business. He wants to get. He's very angry with what the Bloodline has done when he left, and he's looking to RKO every single member of the Bloodline. And that's when Rhea Ripley comes in. Rhea Ripley, she struts to the ring there, looking like a badass, greaser from, from that book, The Outsiders, I suppose. Okay, so it is Rhea Ripley out there, and she pretty much, it's all cordial, welcomes back Randy Orton. But unfortunately, she does say that you have been, you're teaming up with someone who tried to end your career, and he's been completely upstaged by another wrestler at Survivor Series. Mm-hmm. And she goes on saying about the Bloodline. Bloodline have fallen. Now, Bloodline, even though Roman Reigns is still the champion of the SmackDown, he is never there. I think there's going to be a competition who's going to be wrestling less? Who's going to be wrestling less? Roman Reigns, the Universal Champion Roman Reigns, or the United States Champion Logan Paul? Who will be there less times? And I think it's going to be a toss-up. I don't know. Okay. But yeah, she's all talking to talk. You know, the Judgment Day, they're full of gold. They're dripping with gold. And if thanks to you, if it wasn't for you, Damian Priest would be your current heavyweight champion right now. But it is the retort of, Randy Orton. She says, if you're basically your mommy, well, I'm Pop Daddy's back. Yeah, who's your daddy? They're all reading, you know. They just don't know that Buddy Murphy is. Anyways, so yeah. But before this segment ends, they get attacked by a Dominic and JD McDonough from behind. But however, it is Dominic is like a little boy. He's got muscles of a 12-year-old, and JD, he's a big guy. Anyway, so it's like basically one on one. So they try to take out Randy Orton. You know, Dominic is being safely tossed out of the ring, safely removed from the ring, and then it's JD McDonough. He gained the old the RKO. I'm thinking, wow, I cannot believe he's not. I thought for sure Randy Orton would give up with the RKOs, because after all, the RKOs is worse than the leg drop. I don't know, are they worse? Is the Hogan leg drop worse for you than the RKO? Anyways, all I know is the RKO is the reason why Randy Orton has got a bad back. I thought, well, if he wants to wrestle for another 12 years, he's got to reconsider that RKO. Maybe replace it with something else, something less impactful to the spine. So anyways, JD McDonough gets crushed. And then we move on to we start our six-team tag team turmoil match for the number one contendership to the undisputed tag team champions owned by the Judgment Day's Finn Balor and Damian Priest. So we got ourselves 6 teams. It's the Alpha Academy, Do It Yourself, the Indus Sheer, the Creed Brothers, the New Day, and Imperium. So we start with the Alpha Academy versus DIY. That's right. It's now representing the Alpha Academy. It is Akira Tozawa and Otis. That's right. No longer is Otis tag team with, Chad Gabla. Rhymes with Tabla. Now with the Alpha Academy, it's Chad Gabla and Maxine Dupree. Versus, of course, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa of DIY. This section of the match was 2 minutes. Just a little bit over 2 minutes. So it was a flash in the pan. It had its moments. It was ridiculous. The referee, tag ropes don't matter. The referee he's just there to count to 3 or to make sure to win or not. He doesn't matter at all to wrestling. The referee is just there just to count to 3 or to call who wins or loses. So yeah, the referee has a little to do in a match now. He's just so ridiculous. Anyways, so in this match, now the Brawling Brutes, they had this thing now. When Sheamus was with the Brawling Brutes, he used to do the 10. Well, Sheamus did the 10 beats of Balor. That was him. And when he joined the Brawling Brutes, the Rich Holland Butch did the 10 beats of Balor too, at a tandem thing. So now, in this case here, it is Otis. He does the worm, otherwise known as the caterpillar. So now it's tandem caterpillar. Now, Maxine Dupree, she's been working on her caterpillar and she's getting better. She was stiff as a board first, but she's getting a little bit better, not very good. Is it that difficult to either to do the caterpillar or the worm? Or is Otis just a terrible person at teaching people to do the worm? Because when Akira Tozawa did a worm beside Otis, he looked like a fish flopping out of water. Boop, 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 boop. You're like, what are you doing? That's no worm. That's a dumb fish you're doing. The floppity fish, Tozawa. And then they finish off the elbow. So like, hey, the crowd had their spot. They had the time to cheer. DIY just laid there, looked like fools for a second or two. End of the match. End sequence of the match. Otis tags out. Now, Otis, when he's tagging out, Tozawa walks, exits the ring and gets ready for a tag. Now, Otis thinks, oh, someone's going to be grabbing the rope. Was it me? So Otis like grabbing the corner and tagging out. And then Tozawa's not touching any ropes at all. It's like ridiculous. Tag ropes. Come on now. So then here we go. Tozawa tries to end it with Otis doing the old, totem pole style. Tozawa climbing on Otis's shoulders, and they start walking over to Tommaso Ciampa. And that's where everything goes to hell, because everybody's in the ring there at once. The referee doesn't give two farts. So it is Johnny Gargano with a thrust kick to Otis's belly bell. Now, even though he usually just shakes those things off, but this time he like, oh! And then Tozawa, he drops off, he jumps off, and then he gets hit with the flying knee by Tommaso Ciampa. After that, Otis does what he does best. Otis does what Otis does best. And it's not exactly what you might think. He didn't throw himself shoulder first into the turnbuckle or the corner post. He threw himself right over the top rope, outside of the ring, taking him out of the match. And inside the ring, it was the DIY with a double thrust kick to Tozawa's face. 1, 2, 3, it's over! And it's Johnny Gargano getting a big victory. And before they can really have a chance to celebrate, the match continues with the Indus Shear. That's right, it's Veer and Sangha with, I believe, Jinder Mahal. Now, Veer and Sangha, they're injury prone. They're big guys, but they get injured a lot, and they haven't. I think they fought 1-2 times this year. So it's been a long time since they've been in the ring because they get injured a lot. Now these guys are two big guys, but these two big guys, they love to eat just as much, even more so than working out. I think because they're fat. They got muscles, but they got these big fat blubbery bellies. It's like, come on now, be your best selves, please. You guys had maybe 4 months off. That's time to hit the gym. The aerobics, do some CrossFit, baby. I mean, don't you work out with Jinder Mahal? Jinder Mahal has rock hard abs, baby. It's like a washing board. Nothing rubbed off, huh? Nothing. Anyways, this match was about 2 minutes and 40 seconds. It was a lot of fun. Sangha and Veer. Now, Veer has this move. It's like a Fez press, a variant of the Fez press, where he just jumps at you. Then they have a double team where Johnny Gargano gets draped across the top rope by Veer, and Sangha comes up with a big old kicky poo. Sangha tags back out, goes back out, and then the end of the match happens. This match, like I say, this one was about almost 3 minutes. So how it ends, Sangha gets Johnny Gargano, I believe, in the corner, and he tries to squash him. Johnny Gargano moves, and it's veering his way chest first into the corner, the turnbuckle pad. He falls backwards. He stumbles back, I should say. And then it's Johnny Gargano with the schoolboy with a form of a matchbook cover. And you know what? If Sangha wasn't so flabby, got that big flabby belly, the floppity belly of Sangha, he would have probably made the save. But then again, it's all scripted. So yeah, it ended there. What a terrible, terrible section of the match. So moving on, it's DIY, Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa versus the Creed brothers, Brutus Creed, Julius Creed, with Ivy Nile at their corner. In this match here, this part of the match was about 4 minutes. It was really good. This was the match of the night here. This was really competitive. It was good, very good, a lot of stuff. Now Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano try to put it away with their double kick to, Julius Creed, but it is Brutus Creed who comes in there and nails Tommaso Ciampa away. And then it is this setup where Julius Creed sets up Johnny Gargano onto the on the shoulders for the electric chair drop, and then it's Brutus Creed with his most nonsensical move out there. It is stupid. It is a Brutus Ball. It is nonsense. What does a Brutus Ball do? Why? When Johnny Gargano was sitting on sitting to take the electric chair drop, what the Brutus Ball does is initiate it. He pushes the whole two over. That's basically what it does. And how does it end? Why? It's Brutus Creed landing on top of his brother. This time he lands on his face. Sits on his face. Like, wow. I wonder when Julius is going to say, listen, Brutus, enough with this stupid Brutus ball. You're landing on me every time, okay? I don't want to be landed on by a 300-pound man. It's not fun. He didn't say that. It's their brothers. They love each other, no matter how much Julius gets squashed by his younger brother, Brutus. And I was at 1, 2, 3. DIY. It's Dunzo for you two, baby. And then, before you know it, it's the New Day. Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods coming in there for their opportunity for a big victory. And this was about 6 minutes and 15 seconds. You know, we had a time where Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods try to end it with a massive, Kofi Kingston gets Brutus Creed onto his knee, puts him across the knee like a so. And then Kofi Kingston goes off the top rope with a massive double stomp, the coup de grace off the top. But that didn't end it. The match carries on. Eventually, Kofi Kingston gets lifted up onto the electric teardrop. Brutus Creed on the top rope with his dumb Brutus ball. And exactly the same as the first match, where he pushes over the two. And he lands on his brother. He landed off the side this time. So it was just a nonsense move. And it's Kofi Kingston loses. So now next up, we got our the last match of the night here of this, tag team turmoil match. The final competitors are the Imperium. It's Giovanni Vinci and Ludwig Kaiser. And this was about 7 minutes, almost 8 minutes. This was a lot of fun. Now, the Imperium, they tried to do their Imperium bomb, where Giovanni Vinci gets Julius Creed up on the power bomb, and it's Ludwig Kaiser with the massive twisting, the corkscrew uppercut. And then it there. Now, we also have a moment where the end part. It's Giovanni Vinci. Giovanni Vinci gets lifted up onto the electric chair drop, and it's Brutus Creed jumping off with his dumb Brutus ball. This time it is very dangerous. Very dangerous. Giovanni Vinci, he gets hit with the electric chair drop. He lands backwards. He doesn't land on his back, flat on his back. He doesn't land flat on his back. He lands on his side, and then he gets landed on by the giant Brutus Creed, just crushing onto his hip. Like, that could have been very dangerous. That could have broken the hip. That could crush some ribs, you know. This is a very sloppy and ridiculous move. Yeah, I mean, hopefully pretty soon, this Brutus ball will be a thing of the past. Will be a thing of the past, just like Angelo Dawkins' basketball shorts. So yeah, winning this match. Moving on as number one contenders to the Judgment Days, Finn Balor and Damian Priest's unified tag team championship match coming up. And we go backstage, and it's with the Judgment Day, back there all together in their little lounge area. Damian Priest is feeling down on himself, thinking, oh, the boys are not going to like me today. So they start talking. They start talking a bit, about, what happened at War Games. As in Damian Priest is upset that he was the leader of War Games and he lost. And he thought they were going to take it on him. They think that they're going to make, not going to like him for that. But they're like, come on, relax, Damian Priest. We're all family here. But then it's Rhea Ripley says, yeah, even though you made yourself the leader, even though you made yourself the leader of the War Games, you lost, but it's okay. It's all right. We rise together and we fall together. So yeah, so that's all good. So now we go into the ring with a huge moment. That's right.
Wrestling has more than one royal family.
Taking his time to the ring. It's Cody Rhodes.
I got a rumbling in my bowels, and I think I'm gonna blow. There's a bathroom stall, I'm finally here. The toilet's there, I'm about to blow. I ate 5 tacos before the show. Shut the door and I sit down on the throne. Oh, whoa, I was never potty trained when I was younger. My father was never there.
Anyways, it's Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes hitting that damn ring. And it's all about, so, Nashville, what do you want to talk about? I want to talk about me, Cody Rhodes. And what's that, stories. Yeah, Cody Rhodes talking about stories because Cody Rhodes loves the story. He's a true wrestler and he loves the kayfabe. So he's talking about stories and stories and gratitude on top of that. Gratitude for being a part of a winning team at the Survivor Series War Games, and his father's, like as you can say, his legacy thing, his match is a War Game match. And he wants to appreciates the teammates of Sami Zayn, Jey Uso, Seth Rollins, and even Randy Orton, you know. So anyways, it comes down to another thing. I believe truly this is all Cody Rhodes is doing, at least mostly. I believe Cody Rhodes welcomes back CM Punk to Monday Night Raw, or the WWE in general. You know, CM Punk, I think Cody Rhodes brought him back. If it wasn't Cody Rhodes, CM Punk wouldn't be in the WWE, I think. Anyways, while he's talking, he's rambling on about this and that. He also talked about the Royal Rumble coming in 2024. He asked Adam Pearce if he can be the first person to enter the Royal Rumble, and he is. And so with that said, it's Shinsuke Nakamura pops up on the Jumbotron. And he wants a piece of Cody Rhodes. He feels that Cody Rhodes is the only one that can set him free to awaken Shinsuke Nakamura, so Shinsuke can evolve. Now, this is big for Shinsuke. Now, like this month was huge for Shinsuke. Now he started with this past couple months. He started with not being number two, challenging for number 1. Seth Rollins beat him, and then he fell right down to the end of the barrel. He's fighting the Alpha Academy, right on the bottom of the barrel. So he ended up fighting the bottom, which is Shinsuke fought Akira Tozawa, creamed him, went on to fight Otis, beat him up, and then the leader of the Alpha Academy, Chad Gabla, beat him pretty handily too. So now he's moving on to a Cody Rhodes. Now, remember when he's on the Jumbotron, all the lights go out, all around him. Now, they barely do that. When the Jumbotron's on. You're like, oh, there's going to be a sneak attack. So the crowd starts, oh no, Cody, look out, Cody! And Cody's like, what? He's looking ahead of himself. Is someone coming up the ramp? Oh, I can't see anybody coming up the ramp. No one's at the ramp. And Shinsuke's still on the Jumbotron, so he's not here. Oh, I wonder where he is. What's going on? What are you saying? And then from behind, so stupid, Shinsuke Nakamura. He spins out around Cody Rhodes turns around, and then it's the Omicron mist. Now, there are only 2 people. The Japanese are only ones that are spitting the Omicron into people's faces. It's like, what is that? Anyways, it's the red Omicron mist right into Cody Rhodes' face. Cody Rhodes goes down. Shinsuke takes a bow for everybody. He's like, you're very welcome. Moving on. We go to our next match. The singles division. It is Big Bad Bronson Reed versus the Viking Raiders Ivar. And with Ivar is a very curvaceous, I believe I call her the sexiest woman in Monday Night Raw. It's Valhalla. Full face paint. Like she is ravenous. She's like a wild animal out there. Anyways, this match here, there was a lot of they started with a triple threat. They were in there together in a triple threat for the number 1 contenders for the North American champion. And it started from there. So now they're having their very first official match together as opponents. And these are two mighty big men. These guys are big, meaty men, slapping meat. Now, these two have something in common. They're the same build. They're basically the same build, and they got the same style of wrestling. They can both high fly like luchadors, big, giant luchadors, Also, they're strong. Now, I think they should have went with the luchador angle, so they jump around like lightweights. But they went with a lot of power moves, and some power moves didn't work. Ivar tried to jump off the apron, and he was supposed to be caught, but he was dropped. Anyways, that's later on in the match. But however, inside the match, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. I can't complain. The wrestling was good. A lot of strong moves. Ivar tried to suplex Bronson, but Bronson with one massive ass suplex on Ivar. I don't think Ivar has ever been suplexed like that ever in his life, or at least in the WWE career. But he gets suplexed right out of his boots. It was insane. A big move. It's that, if any suplex has a holy shit moment, this would be it. It's a suplex, but it's like, holy shit. Now they take the fight outside. Ivar, I guess it's Bronson Reed. He gets distracted by the very sexy, Valhalla. And then he gets dropped down, and Ivar gives him the basement high cross. He gets planted between Ivar and the hardened, it's like the screen, television screen, the apron. Crushed and gets two. They take the fight inside, and then we got ourselves now. Last week, I believe, Michael Cole called it a sidewalk slam, but today it is what it is. It is the Around the World Slam. The Around the World Slam. It is a World's Strongest Slam. He does a 360 and he drops World's Strongest style. So that's pretty big. And then he tries to finish it. Ivar tries to finish it. He goes to the top rope and I couldn't believe it. It is he calls it the doom salt. It is a moonsault off the top. Now, I don't think he could have got any higher, jumped any higher than what Ivar did. Now, this is Ricochet level of heights. He just going through the air, incredible. But however, now, all I know is this. If I were in that ring, if I were laying down and he hit me with that doom salt, I think my ribs would be crushed. If I had anything in my belly, it would be shot on my asshole. I would be officially dead. But however, this is Bronson Reed. Bronson moves out of the way, and here's where it gets me to. When Ivar hits you with the moonsault, it's perfectly fine. But when you miss, like everything, when you're going off the top and you hit someone from the top rope, you're perfectly fine after that. But if you miss, it's like you getting a serious move against you. It's kind of weird, but it happens. So Ivar misses the doom salt. He goes around, hits hard, and then it's Bronson Reed tries to capitalize. He goes to the top rope for his tsunami, the tsunami splash, but it's Valhalla. She gets up there. She's about to pound, just try to punch the old Bronson Reed. Now, Bronson could have just ignored that and just took the punch and got the DQ victory. But no, the referee decides to cut in there. She sees what's happening. Nothing really happened really yet. So she decides to nip it in the butt and kick out Valhalla. I mean, I can see it maybe jealousy's going on because Valhalla's got all the curves. Looking very good. Anyways, so she kicks out the Pharaoh one from the ring. Get out of here! So Valhalla, she obliges and leaves with a little bit of a, argument. But the match goes on. They end up taking the match outside the ring, and they start fighting into the. Now that's when they fight outside the ring. That's when Ivar went for a high cross outside the ring to Bronson Reed. Bronson caught him for a minute, but then he ends up dropping him because that's a very difficult feat, very, very difficult thing to do. Anyways, after that, he throws Ivar over top of the timekeeper's area. They start fighting, and 45 seconds later, the ref calls it a count-out disqualification. 45 seconds, 45 actual seconds. I think they could have gone longer at that, I mean, usually they just ignore the count when it goes that long. So ridiculous. What, match couldn't end with a natural conclusion? Anyways, moving on. They continue fighting, and they take the fight into the crowd. And a lot of the, I guess you can say, like the other workers I put it under quotes because I'm sure everybody who is involved in this match that's not in the match are all trainees in the WWE. Let's face it, they are. And a lot of them got crushed. One of them got picked up and thrown at Ivar like a lawn dart. Now, eventually, Ivar climbs up one of the shipping crates and does a moonsault off of it. It was incredible. Incredible because he didn't really hit Bronson Reed. Bronson was on the side. He just crushed like 3 trainees. Anyways, that's going to be something good. Ivar, Bronson Reed. Maybe next match will be like a non-disqualification match or something. So then it will have a proper ending, or just Adam Pearce asking the referee to just call, to be very lenient, like Nick Aldis does. Hey, if they're outside, don't worry, don't even count. We know what you're there for. Referees in the WWE, they're just about as useless as referees in all wrestling. Anyways, after that, we go backstage. It's with, Zoe Stark and her friend, Shayna, Shayna Baszler back there. Zoe Stark lost her opportunity at World Championship Gold. Against Aurea, I believe. And then it's, of course, Nia Jax coming there to jab the knife in, twist the knife a little bit more. And Shayna Baszler tries to stick up for her, but then Zoe Stark sticks up for herself. Even though Shayna Baszler tells Nia Jax to shut the hell up. Because that's all she can do is just tell Nia Jax to shut up, because that's all. So Zoe Stark gets in the way there. It's like, I can handle myself. So then she's going to go to Adam Pearce and get a match ready. And this is exactly what Nia Jax wanted. She wants to clear out all the women from the women's division so she personally can be the new champion. Or at least number one contender to be future champion. After that, we go backstage again. It is, R-Truth, the Fool. He's the comedy relief, R-Truth. He's been a comedy relief for a while now. He's back. He's back. Now, I believe he injured himself severely in a NXT match against, I believe it was JD McDonough, if I'm not mistaken. He did a tope nope, a tope suicida. That was so bad that, he totally killed himself, almost killed himself in doing that. It wasn't as bad as, it was better than, it was better than Top Dollars, the flop father, his tope nope. Anyways, he's back there, and he's got a bunch of these award-winning, chart-topping jelly rolls. He's sitting in the, the Judgment Day Lounge, and he got the powder sugar everywhere. Because he's a clown, he's a fool. Although, he's an old man, but he looks good for his age. Does it really matter? No, he's still a fool. And it's, of course, Damian Priest, Finn Balor, and JD McDonough all pissed off what's going on around there. And eventually it's going to be next week, the rematch, I think. JD McDonough versus R-Truth. Will R-Truth try to do this tope suicida again? And will he almost destroy himself again? Or is he practicing his tope suicidas so it looks like a Ricochet style? Anyways, next up, we got ourselves the women's division match. Representing the Judgment... No Judgment Day here. It is Nia Jax versus Zoe Stark in the ring. This match was about 5.5 minutes. 5.5 minutes. This was, I knew Nia Jax would win this. Was Zoe Stark going to win? No. Even though she had some moments, they traded back and forth, beat up each other. Nia Jax tries to end it with she calls it the Annihilator. I think it's called the Annihilator. I don't think it's called the Annihilator. The Annihilator, because it makes sense. Nia Jax, Annihilator. So Annihilator is the bonsai drop that Yokozuna used to do, And so she gets up there. Zoe Stark gets up and kicks her foot from underneath her. She drops down. But this only does one thing. Delays the inevitable, which is Zoe Stark's inevitably losing this match. So they scrap on. And then eventually, Nia Jax gets Zoe Stark with a massive Samoan drop, dragging her around the ring to give her a running senton, crushing Zoe Stark, and then dragging her again to the corner. And then with the, I guess you can say, the safest possible annihilator you can possibly see, because I don't think she even sat on Zoe Stark's chest at all. Because it can be a very dangerous move. Very dangerous move. Really can crush people's chests. Ask Stevie Richards. Anyways, Zoe Stark loses, and wasn't any surprise? No. Nia Jax wins, and I'm assuming next week she's going to be taking on some Shayna Baszler and winning. Okay, so next up we go backstage. It's with some Imperium problems. Gunther's very upset that they lost their number one contendership match, and he got a rematch going on. They're going to have a match again, not a rematch for the number one contendership, but I believe against they have a match coming up next week. And Giovanni Vinci, he says, I guarantee we will win. And then Ludwig Kaiser says, no, I will do the promises. I promise you we will win. And then, Gunther turns around, only gets himself face-to-face with The Miz. And I'm assuming Miz is wearing his best lifts in his shoes, because he's got as much height as he can, because he's almost eye-to-eye with Gunther. Mm-hmm. Miz, he wants a rematch. Gunther just laughs. He says, I could have, Miz, I could have beat you. That's hilarious, Yeah, because Miz kicked him in so-called kicked him in the balls, and then gave him the skull-crushing finale. No one came in to break up the pin. It was just kicked out of. Whatever. So he got a pin attempt, and you didn't get it, so you think you could have won. So any pin attempt is like a possible win. No, you had an opportunity, but it wasn't guaranteed. Nothing's guaranteed. And basically, Gunther gives him some props, at least. Says, you did good. You belong in a ring with me. You stood up for yourself. But, my championship is in no danger from you. Zero danger. He wants backup. It's like, you lost. Get back to the line. How about you start fighting the Alpha Academy? That's where Shinsuke had to go. So Miz did already fight Tozawa already. Anyways, moving on. And he lost. He lost to Tozawa. And then the next week he won. Anyway, so next up we got ourselves Seth friggin' Rollins with an in-ring promo. Now, when he's in there, people start cheering. Now, over at the War Games, when CM Punk made his return, Seth Rollins was irate. Didn't want to see him there. It's just like the AEW wrestlers. They don't want to see CM Punk around. They don't like him. He's a loser. CM Punk suffers from the disease. Don't you know who I think I am? I'm the locker room leader. Get out of here, you punk. Anyways, you can tell I'm a massive fan of CM Punk. So Seth Rollins, he says, get it out of your system, okay? CM Punk, guess what he is? He's nothing but a hypocrite. That's right, he is a hypocrite. He's there for the money, he doesn't care. That's why people seen right through him in the AEW. They almost seen through him in the WWE, I'm sure, before his first time he left. Because he would leave again. He's a guy that, when the going gets tough, CM Punk gets going. Okay. Anyway, so after that, it was just a short part of his promo. He starts talking about his championship title, the World Championship title. How now Seth Rollins had made Seth Rollins is now the most important champion there. And there's no doubt about it, because the Universal Champion, he's never around. So he's pretty much obsolete. Roman Reigns, he's never there. He's too busy doing nothing. If you compare the second best champion of all time, Pedro Morales was the second greatest champion of all times. And Pedro Morales has literally 1,000 more title defenses over Roman Reigns. Over 1,000. And he's number two. Bruno Sammartino, he's got so many title defenses. There ain't nobody ever will ever surpass, Bruno Sammartino's records. Never. Roman Reigns. Whatever. So, he talks about the stuff, and he wants to talks about the Survivor Series, being part of the old the winning team, And he talks about he's got the itch. He's got the itch to fight again. So he talks about his next opponent. And when he talks to the next opponent, his previous opponent shows up. It's Drew McIntyre. He comes in there and he congratulates Seth Rollins for his Survivor Series War Games victory. And he starts talking about, no more Mr. Nice Guy. I tell you. So then he wants a rematch with Seth Rollins. And Seth Rollins straight up says, you know what, you do deserve a rematch, but other people deserve it more than you do now. Now, Drew McIntyre, he says he's willing to put, the bloodline behind him for now. And then after Seth Rollins talked about these next week will be a title defense. And he didn't say who it was. And then Drew McIntyre said, may I ask, who are you trying to fight next week? Who will you be your opponent? And then Seth Rollins says, well, it's going to be Jey Uso. And then, Drew McIntyre's like, what? And he freaks out. Now, I'm not sure exactly what happened. You know what happened. It was a headbutt. Drew McIntyre gives a Glasgow kiss to Seth Rollins. But here's the thing. Seth Rollins had his title belt over his shoulder. Now, I'm sure he probably shrugged his shoulder a little bit. So Drew McIntyre would make contact with his belt with his head. And true enough, he did. Drew McIntyre, although Seth Rollins sold that headbutt big time, just dropped down there. But it is Drew McIntyre who got the worst of that one. Just this giant whip in his head, giant gouge in his head from that title belt. Didn't bleed at first, but it is deep. And I'm assuming, 100% assuming, he will have stitches with that dumb headbutt. You heard that with his head hitting the steel. It's like, oh my goodness, he hit it hard because you can see the corner imprint that ripped, not just imprint, but it ripped through his skin. Ripped. And not just ripped, it cut his skin, cut it. So Drew McIntyre starts trying to teach Seth Rollins a lesson, and then that's when, I love cheese mousse with my French bread. Cheese mousse with my French bread. It is... Jey Uso comes in there to save up some Seth Rollins, and they both super kick party Drew McIntyre out the ring. So then after that, we go backstage with Sami Zayn giving some advice to Drew McIntyre. Kind of Drew advice. Like, hey, listen, you're out of control. You are a spoiled brat. We had a lot in common. We both, me and you, we both had the same things. We have a lot of set downs and, drawbacks. But when it comes down to Sami Zayn still wants to be the world champion, just like you. And Drew McIntyre is already a 2-time champion. It's like, you got everything here. You got the looks. You got the size. You got the strength. You're doing it all wrong. You're just, like I say, you're just a spoiled brat. And Drew's like, you're right, Sammy. I've been off a little bit lately. I'll do things the right way. I'll start at the bottom and work myself back up. As a matter of fact, I'll go to Adam Pearce right now for my first match. And Sami's like, so who do you think you're going to be fighting? Yeah! So Sami Zayn versus Drew McIntyre 2. And will Sami Zayn win this time? Maybe. Drew McIntyre's on his low way down, and contracts don't look very good for Drew. He's not happy. I blame Roman Reigns for this. Roman Reigns, I truly believe Roman Reigns is fighting leukemia. There's no other excuse. It's a terrible thing to say because it's better that than him being an absolute lazy bones and never showing up to work. Anyways, moving on. We have ourselves a tag team match for the unified tag team champion, the women's tag team champion, not unified, the women's tag team champions. It is Tegan Nox and Natalya getting back together again for their official tag team championship match versus your tag team champion, Chelsea Green, with her partner, Piper Niven. Now, this one here was, it happened. That's all I can say, it happened. The one thing for sure, it's Chelsea Green. If you need someone to do the work, get their ass kicked, it is Chelsea Green. She goes in there to get her ass kicked by both Natalya and Tegan. Both kick her butt in the ring there. She gets power bombed, huge power bomb by Natalya. she gets now Tegan Nox. Now later on in the match, Tegan Nox goes up the top rope, and with one hell, I think this is the greatest Molly go round I've seen Tegan Nox ever do. But Tegan Nox hits the Molly go round perfectly, smashes. Maybe it's is it I don't know, Chelsea Green taking because she was the recipient of that Molly go round. That's why it went well. I don't know. But anyways, it is. We got a moment here where it's Chelsea Green and Piper Niven try to finish it. Chelsea Green gets she goes for a lung blower, and she holds down Tegan Nox, and then Piper Niven comes up with the senton right on top of the knees and squashing, Tegan Nox between her and Chelsea Green's knees. So I'm like, wow, that was good. That can't be good for Chelsea Green's knees though. Ends up Natalya breaking up the pin. Natalya gets thrown directly outside the ring, and she's out. Now here we go. The end of the match. It's Tegan and Chelsea fighting. Chelsea gets blind tagged out. It's Piper blind tagging herself in. Unbeknownst to, of course, it's a blind tag, so no one really seen. Tegan Nox didn't see. So Tegan Nox thinks it's Chelsea Green still in the ring. They end up... Chelsea Green gets... Tegan gets flying out the ring there, gets thrown out the ring. Chelsea Green gets pulled out of the ring. And then it's a 2-on-1. It's Natalya and Tegan Nox grab Chelsea and double suplex her into the barricade. And I think with that also, Natalya took a nasty bump when she did that, and she hurt herself again, and she put herself out of the match once again. So inside the ring, they actually walk around a bit. But it did look like Natalya hurt herself good. So her and Tegan walk around to the other side, to the steps on the other side of the ring. And then that's when Piper does a massive... Now, Michael Cole calls it a cannonball, but it really is a swanton bomb. She does a swanton. Crushes them both. And then she picks up Tegan Nox, throws her into the ring, and then she hits those ropes with one massive basement high cross body. It is over for the team of Tegan Nox and Natalya Bret Hart. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, coming out as still your champions. It is a Tegan Nox and Piper Niven. And I got to reiterate that the tag division in the WWE is trash, 100% trash, and the women's division is almost non-existent. So here we go. We go backstage now. It is with Jey Uso and Randy Orton. And Jey Uso talking about, he knows that Randy wants to destroy the entire bloodline. But it's all about second chances and him coming back. He's trying to make amends, trying to make a difference. He's trying to turn over a new leaf. And he wants to apologize for everything that's the past. And he wants to make sure that Randy knows that the future is, he's no longer part of the bloodline, doesn't care about bloodline, and he wants to make sure everybody knows that he's no longer with the Reigns. So he says, hey, can we just let bygones be bygones, And I guess Randy Orton's all about it. He's like, yeet, my yeet, yeetsters. So they're all happy. So I guess it's not like Randy Orton's got nothing like Drew McIntyre, who just can't get over shit. So angry. So it's called turning the other cheek. Sami Zayn did. Randy Orton's doing it. Cody Rhodes did it. Well, you know what? It doesn't matter. We go backstage again with the interview. It's Jackie Redmond with some, Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch. Now, she talks about the aftermath of War Games, the big victory. But Becky here. She's now within like 5 years, I think, 5 years. 5 years ago to Becky now, they look like two different people. Becky Lynch 5 years ago looks like she could be Becky Lynch now's daughter. That's how different they look. They look similar, but they don't look like the same person. Anyway, so with that aside, my bitching, moaning and complaining about Becky's looks, we go on. What does Becky here for? Why she talks about there's a couple fights on the horizon. Wonderful. Moving on. So we go on to her match. It is Randy Orton's first singles match back within a year and a half, and it's against Dominic Mysterio. This one is the main event match of the night, and this was a lot of fun. This was just a little bit over 8 minutes of fun. 8 minutes of fun, you know. Dominic wearing his best cowboy boots, his cowboy-themed Uggs, looking fly. Anyways, they take the fight outside a couple of times. It is almost hilarious. They a lot of times they take the fight outside. One time they were out there for 30 seconds. It's okay. Now the first match, it was like 45 seconds before Bronson Reed, Ivar, where they were disqualified to just count out. 30 seconds. Still going. It's okay. This is within the range, I suppose. Now they fight outside again. Now they fight for a good 50 seconds, and the referee's like, oh, I'm supposed to count? So ridiculous. So anyways, it's Dominic Mysterio who's out there first there, and it's him and JD McDonough. JD decides, like, hey, let's just go. And then I guess they see a big fat jelly roll in the crowd there, and they start making fun of him being too fat and whatnot. I don't know what they're talking about in his tattooed face, how many dumb tattoos that he's got on his face. He starts talking. And then Jelly Roll gets all upset, and he pushes JD McDonough, or punches him. I don't know what he does. He gets some distance on him. And then he pushes Dominic Mysterio. The referee's he's facing the deal. He sees what's going on. So he's like, oh, what's that? I gotta fix my pocket square. My pocket square is not right. You don't have a pocket square. So yeah, this match could have been over right there. Disqualification. But the referee, I can't go like that. I'm just here to count to 3. So yeah, Dominic gets pushed away, and they fight outside for a good 50 seconds. 50 seconds. That is 5 whole seconds, then the count out disqualification. So yeah, this should have been a count out, double count out. But of course, it's nonsense. The referee's nonsense, because if it's not written that way, it won't happen. Because nobody will roll back into the ring to break the count. Nobody. It's like, do you have any respect for the sport? The quote-unquote sport? So anyways, Randy Orton just starts, back body drivering. What's that? The back body driver. He just drops Dominic Mysterio on top of the commentating table, not once but twice. And like I say, I always say this: if you throw somebody into an inanimate object, like if you throw someone into the steel stairs, into the ring post, throw someone through a table, throw someone through the stairs or chairs, it's okay, perfectly legal. But if it's the other way around, if you use a table onto somebody, or a chair, slap someone with a chair, it's a disqualification, which makes 0 sense. Anyways, they take a fight inside the ring. Dominic, he turns things around because apparently getting back body drivered onto the commentating table doesn't hurt at all. That's why they didn't disqualify him. I don't know. So Dominic Mysterio, he gets on top of things. He tries to give his 5-star frog splash to Randy Orton. Randy moves out of the way, misses it, and then this is the second RKO of the night. Randy Orton, man, oh man, you just got fusion surgery like a year and a half ago. Come on now. It's only a matter of time before he gets hurt again. I'd say if you keep up the RKOs twice in a match, I'd say probably before 2025, you'll be on the injured list again. Maybe sooner. So now we go on to the major hypocrite of all. It is, I don't know, stupid music.
I do the thing, I'm the culprit person, my bookie.
It's CM Punk in there. And he talks about best in the world. Yep, of course, CM Punk is not just a complete hypocrite, but completely delusional. Best in the world at what? At what? You're a good wrestler. You have good mic skills. Now, it was hilarious. He comes in the ring there. People are cheering CM Punk on. And then he makes fun of the city. And then that got rid of 3/4 of the crowd. Just like, what? What now? How about you just take your ass and get lost, you dumb shit? So yeah, he lost most of the crowd. He lost most of the crowd with one because he just had to be him. I'm CM Punk. Oh my God. I'm not a fan of CM Punk. So apparently, I guess he's not there to make friends. He's there to make money because no one else would damn hire him. And what's he going to do? Go to Impact Wrestling? Go to, AAA Wrestling? Go to New Japan? There's no way. No way! This guy's ego is out of control. The failed UFC fighter. And with that said, that wraps it up for another episode of Monday Night Raw for this week. So, for our podcast listeners, stay tuned for some NXT right after this break. But for our YouTube audience, remember, that's it for tonight. We'll see you soon on another episode of The Wrestling Show. I've been Lip Hazlewood saying